Fresh out of jail, fixed to pick up the kids. It's been almost 3 months. Here we go. Come on, Riggsy boy. There they are. Parker in London.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Stop licking me.
Get down, baby. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm going.
Oh my gosh, look at y'all's hair. Handy. Hey, bud. Oh, how are you?
Fine.
Get it, buddy.
Have you lost pounds or lost pounds?
Actually, I've gained pounds up here.
Oh.
I got up to about 1,200 dips a day.
Wait,
I did an average of, I think, about 25,000 laps I walked while I was in jail. So,
Holy shit, man.
I was a little pale. I looked like the color of your shirt when I got out, but I'm good now. I'm just so glad to see you. Okay. It's gonna be all right, kids. I promise. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go get set up.
Are you on your riding lake?
Oh yeah, same old place.
All right. I haven't seen that video in a long time. That was 2014. I just got out of jail for 60 days. Did I mess up the comments? Oh, okay. Well, there's Angel. Hi, Angel. Angel's my crypto buddy. We go way back, like way, way back, like junior high. Hello, Jamie Marshall. How is everybody today? Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. That almost brought a tear to my eye. That was the best hug I ever got from London. Probably the best hug I ever got, period. Hello, Kate. Yeah, it's hard to, like I said, I hadn't watched that in years. I was setting up this podcast, and I finally figured out how to properly put the intro in, and it gave me that one as an option. I was like, golly, blast from the past. But anyway, how are y'all? How's everybody? Hello, Billy Bob. I am doing great. Yo, my name is Caleb too, brother. Oh, Billy Bob's name is Caleb. Well, I'm doing good. I'm slowly but surely. I had to change the intro up because yesterday's intro also got demonetized. Got the video demonetized. So I just said, forget it. I could have fought it or filtered it out or took it off, but because it was kind of a little catchy little jam. But I don't know. I like that one better, anyways. It's got my kids in it. I was doing my run this morning and thinking about all the different possibilities of things I was going to talk about. And I was going to talk about not Andrew Tate, but he just kind of popped up in the news, and it was kind of going along with what I was going to talk about anyways. Oh, Kate, you're going through it yourself. The divorce stuff, it's not fun. Oh, my, Billy Bob, a.k.a. Caleb. I forgot I can always put these up here. What are your views on the political state of this country today? I do not like politicians. I don't like any of them, except Ron Paul. I'm glad Trump won, sort of, kind of. But, that's the problem with this platform is Angel knows my political stance, but you can't talk about my political stance because you'll get banned off of YouTube. Yeah, I mean, when you're faced with, shit in one hand, shit in the other, I don't know. I guess I'm glad he got in there. I will say this. I am glad Donald Trump released Ross Ulbricht. I've followed the Ross Ulbricht story, the story of the Silk Road, since before Ross even went to prison. And he did follow up, and he did let him, he promised to let him out if he got elected, and he did. And I'll give him that. And I'll never regret that. I'll never regret supporting Trump getting in to let Ross Ulbricht out, because his mother, Lynn, she's just a saint. She never was political. She's just a mom. And once he, did what he did and got railroaded, she never gave up. And I've always admired her for that. But yeah. Oh, Andrew Tate. What do you mean go for it? No, I can't, because I'll get banned, just like I'm banned. I'm banned on Facebook again for 30 days. It's so stupid. I don't like Trump. She is racist. Who's she? But yeah, Andrew Tate's back in the news today. He's been in Romania, then he got out, then he came over here, and then old Governor of Florida, old Ron DeSantis, got wind that he was there, and apparently they don't like each other. I never know who to believe. I just don't like that guy. I'd never even heard of him, but until he got banned, and then people were saying, "Yeah, you'd probably like him, Caleb. He's a red pillar. He tells it how it is. He's all masculine." I thought, okay, and so I looked up a few videos of him, and I actually agree with a lot of what he says. I have learned that even people I wound up, once you get to know, I not, or very not, I wouldn't say none, but most people are not all wrong on everything they say. And that's what I don't like about political parties, because if you join a political party, you have to back up the party, even if they do something really, really, really stupid or gross or disgusting. And I don't like political parties for that reason. And the same, and I can apply the same opinion or the same philosophy to anybody, any individual, including Andrew Tate. Not everything he says do I think is all wrong. I like a lot of what he says. But man, once you get to digging deep and you find out how he really is, it changes everything. He is, for some reason, so many men think that if it wasn't for Andrew Tate, masculinity would all be lost. And I've got news for you. If that's how you feel, you're you're so off. Masculinity is not defined by Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate does not get to define what masculinity is. And if Andrew Tate goes to prison for being the thing that I can't say that'll get me, hello, Dannon, that'll get me banned, if allegedly that he is, if he goes to prison, masculinity, it's already sucking right now, but it's not going to suck any more or less because Andrew Tate goes to prison for a little while to humble himself and quit preying on underage girls. And it just drives me nuts because anytime I say anything in the, in my circle of friends, not on YouTube, but, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you get these, I don't know if they're bots, they act like bots. The people that make fun of and mock NPCs, they act just like them. They're like, it's just a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, I got to love Andrew Tate. I have to love Andrew Tate. All the red pillars love Andrew Tate. Well, all the red pillars are full of crap if all the red pillars love Andrew Tate. And I don't mind saying it because I don't know any other red pill prominent people with platforms. I follow a bunch of them, but they all, I don't know any, I have of the prominent red pill people with platforms that I follow, they all just bow down to this guy. And I do not see why. They are acting just exactly like the party that they slam, the Democrat Party, all the time for just always circling the wagons around their guy. When it was Joe Biden, they always circled the wagons. He could do no wrong until suddenly, oh, he's incompetent. And then it was okay to throw him under the bus. And then they got the cackling hag. I'll probably get zapped for that, but she is. She's a cat. I've already said it, so I guess I can go ahead and say it. They got the cackling hag, and they just all rallied around her, and everything she said was perfect and wonderful and great. And she's the going to be the savior and save us from Donald Trump, which Donald Trump wasn't even president then. But I don't understand why all these prominent red pill guys. That's really what I was going to talk about is the red pill people. I agree with a lot of what most of them say, or a lot of them say. Their criticisms of the behavior of modern women is atrocious. I mean, look around at our country. The OF models, they're everywhere. I read a statistic. I don't know if it's true or not, but the statistic said that 1 out of 10 women age 18 to 23 have an OF. Uneffing believable. And for the red pill men that slam that behavior, I agree with them. See, that's where I get into Andrew Tate. Those same type people just promote him as if he's the bastion of freedom, the bastion of all things masculinity. That is how that guy got his entire fortune. Yeah, he was a boxer, kickboxer, whatever. He made a little money that he made a name for himself, and good for him for that. I'll give him credit for that. That's a good quality. That's a good skill to teach young men. That's a great quality to teach young men. But most of his money came from being a pimp. And pimps have a reputation, and they have to uphold that reputation. If you ever watched Idiocracy, it's a fascinating lifestyle. And that was really what I wanted to talk about is for some reason, all these red pillars that just worship this guy, again, they're not all wrong on the things they talk about. I agree with probably a majority of their stances. But their idea of making money is pimping women out and starting their OF accounts and running it for them. And then that one thing leads to another. You got to keep them in line, which leads to seizing their passports, which is highly illegal. It's, I don't know what you call it, entrapment or... But they promote masculinity. You've got to get rich, which is not a bad thing. It's not money is very, very important. It is, but their way of making money is being a mouse clicker. You gotta hustle. Look at me. I'm a hustler. I got lots of bills, dog. Look at all my gold chains. Look at my supercars. I'm not mad at people that drive supercars, but I'm about as interested in supercars as I am sports ball. They teach these guys how to pimp, and if it's not pimping, it just drives me nuts. All these white collar, I guess what I'm just bitching. I guess all these white collar, red pill, masculine men, they don't know how to do a damn thing that the real world needs. The real world, everyday, regular people, and even famous people need housing and automobile transportation of some kind, and indoor plumbing and food. And I guarantee you, the vast majority of these red pill dudes, they're just constantly running their big fat mouths about what it means to be a man. They've never turned a wrench in their life to make a living. They've never built a house. They've never overhauled an engine. They've never ran power lines. They've never done indoor plumbing. They've never, much less, dug the trenches to put in all the sewer lines and the guys that connect all that crap together and make everything flow. They've never done any of that stuff. And ladies, I'll tell you, or anybody really, if you want to know a little, something I've noticed about these guys, every one of these guys, it doesn't matter how buff they are, how chiseled they are, work out in the gym, post their selfies in the gym all the time, doing their reps, drinking their protein shakes, taking their whatever creatine crap. Look at their hands. If you ever want a telltale sign, look at their itty bitty tiny little hands. And I'm not saying small, I'm talking about fingers. Look at their fingers. You can always tell a man who's made a living his entire life by using his hands. We have to use our brains too. Overhauling Caterpillar diesel engine, 1200 RPM, 900 horsepower, slow speed engine diesels. You have to use your brain, but you got to use your hands too. There's very little pencil pushing. There's very little mouse clicking. You can always tell a man that has made a living with his hands, that knows how to build shit that the real world needs, by the size of his fingers. And every one of those guys, I'm not going to name names outside of Tate because he's their god, he's their king. But even Tate, look at his hands. He's always shirtless in his podcasts, and you can see his fingers. Yeah, he's got long fingers, but he's a tall guy. But he ain't got no meat. There's no such thing as a gym workout that works out and gets the meat of the fingers. They got those gripper things, and that might get right here. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being petty, but for some reason, it's always, ask any blue collar guy I've ever talked to, and the guys that actually build all the shit that everybody wants and needs, they can seldom afford it. It's the mouse clicker guys, the businessmen. It's the pimps, the businessmen, the entrepreneurs, the guys that pull money out of one account by clicking a mouse and put it into another account and clicking the mouse. And I'm not saying there's not a need for that. I get it. There is, but not everyone can be a mouse clicker. Not everyone can be a pencil pusher. Not everyone can be an account manager and just move money around and study markets. Again, I get it. There's a need for that, but there's something else wrong besides all the loose women and the disgusting, drunk, fat men that fund their bills there's something more wrong with this world. And I guess I don't have much of a voice because, yeah, I've got a lot of YouTube subscribers. As you all can see, there's not a lot of people here, but just I'm fine with. But there's something wrong when the men that actually put all this shit together can barely even afford it or can't afford it at all. And if they do afford it, they almost always have to get some kind of loan. The divide between the haves and the have-nots is just getting really, really, really big. And somebody asked me earlier what my political stance is, and I hesitate to give my political opinions. Not that I care about pissing somebody off. I just don't want to get booted. But I miss the days when women were women and men were men, and we were just all okay with it. It was okay for a woman to just be a woman, and for a man to just be a man. And to me, there's not. I'm not gonna say nothing, but there's very little that is more of a turnoff than a woman that just constantly tries to be a man. It drives me nuts. But this new chick, let's see, I've got her. Let me see, add this to stage. I'm just going to read what she put out. And if you ask me, they're just both awful people. This new girl that's accusing Andrew Tate of doing dastardly things to her, she's not as bad as him, but she's just dumb. But let's see. How do I do this? Put me, yeah. And, oh, look at me. That's me a year and a half ago. I've put on about 10 pounds since then. I need to go fix it. That's me showing off my sexy back. All right, let me scroll down here. Oh, yeah. I'll play that one next. This chick, Bree Stern. The Bree Stern. She just posted this today or yesterday. Quote, "You are my property. My name is Bree Stern. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I met Andrew Tate in the summer of 2024, and we were in a relationship for almost a year." Okay, and there's a thread here. "We met because he needed models for his crypto coin and promised to help me save my crypto coin sister." See, this already looks like a staged plug to me. I mean, I don't believe any of this. I don't know if any of this is real or not. This is just what's being reported. She went to TMZ with all this stuff. And there she is with her friend showing how he beat her up and how she's just so sad. And before you get mad, some getting mad at me, I'm not saying she deserved what she alleges that Andrew Tate did. I'm not saying that at all. I'm going to keep repeating that. I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'll give my little more commentary here in a minute. "We spent as much time together as we could, but we weren't physically together. We were in communication all day, every day." In other words, he was stuck in Romania. "He was my best friend." She made a best friend in like 6 months or 10 months, however long they were together. She made a best friend. "I stood by his side unwaveringly. We made plans to live together, first in Romania and then in Miami once he traveled to America." That's just a picture of them kissing, but I'm not even going to unblur it because it's just not worth watching. "He wanted to start a new life together." No, yeah, he wanted to start a new life together once he arrived to the U.S. He wanted me to have his cheerings, and he always told me we would be together forever. Andrew told me he loved me every day, and I was very much in love with him. Yeah, this just all came out of the blue. She had no idea what his reputation was. She had no idea all the allegations dating back 10 or 12 years. She was just clueless. Despite the fact that he has hurt me so badly, I still love him. Maybe that is Stockholm syndrome. I don't know. You think? This is allegedly a text. I'm glad you texted me. I was having anxiety. Anxious little lady here. And he supposedly replied, "You need to be hit. Why? I don't like it. What did I do?" He, according to her, him, "You deserved it. Why?" This is her post in the post again. The last time I saw Andrew was on March 11, 2025 at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The last words he said to me before I left the hotel were, "Shut the F up, bitch. You will never backtalk me. You are my property." And this is another screenshot from him. "If you're mine, you wouldn't be you. Why wouldn't I be able to hit you? Okay." And then she said, "You scared me with what you said. Are you scared of me?" And she said, "Physical violence for me is a huge no. I don't even like it when you hit me during sex. It scares me." And she's got to put a plug. Oh, no, that's her texting. But due to events that had transpired in the early hours of the day, as well as his final degrading words, something just clicked. I finally recognized that someone who truly loved me wouldn't say those things to me or hurt me repeatedly the way he did. I think for the first time, I realized the gravity of the situation. Yeah, it just dawned on her. He just suddenly started being mean to her. Why are you being mean in the other chat? And he says, "Because I want to beat the F out of you. You will give me a child this year, biatch. Why do you want to beat me? It's 12:30 a.m. I'm in my room. I sleep soon. What is the point of having you?" he said. Back to her. Okay, this wasn't a joke or an internet facade. This was the reality of my boyfriend and my life, and I needed to take back control. Quote, "You are my property," echoed in my mind. And I knew that was not the future I wanted for myself or my future children. It was not easy, but I gathered the courage to do what I had contemplated doing for a long time. Okay, keep in mind, she says for a long time. They just met last summer. So she's, on one hand, she's saying she was in love and he was her best friend and they communicated every day, though not physically. She said he loved her every day. And now it was not easy, but I gathered the courage to do what I had contemplated doing for a long time: leave him. I grabbed my things and walked. Oh, dang it. I hate it when I click things on accident. I grabbed my things and walked out of the hotel and out of our relationship. That day, even though I was terrified, I made a promise to myself that I would not go back no matter what he said, no matter what he did. I blocked him. And I'm going to highlight this because she says something else pretty significant later on. I blocked his number, blocked him on all social media platforms and on all communication apps. I went to a doctor. I went to the police. The last week has been very difficult and extremely scary for me, and I'm an emotional, God dang it, did it again. I'm an emotional wreck and constantly looking over my shoulder. I'm not the person I was before. She went to the doctor and she went to the police. You notice where she didn't go? She didn't go to her daddy. Now, why would a beautiful young girl not go to her daddy after the love of her life and her best friend that she wanted cheer-ins with allegedly beat her? She did what they all do. Go to the police. "Oh, he hurt me. Fix my problems. I can't stand accountability." And I'm not making light of the allegations. I'm not trying to, but There's a reason red pillars like me always mock women like that for making terrible choices. There's a reason the memes exist that responsibility and accountability is kryptonite to women. And I hate to sound like that because I've got a lot of female friends, and maybe this is just for younger ones. I don't know. But come on. She's just making it too easy. And again, I have to repeat this. I'm not saying that she deserved what she alleges that Andrew Tate did to her. I'm not saying that at all. Andrew texted me recently. Oh, really? Because see, right up here, you said you blocked him on all social media and all, where was it? There it is. Well, I don't want to, sometime I can highlight. There you go. I blocked his number, blocked him on all social media platforms and all communication apps. And then right down here, Andrew texted me recently. Okay, I thought he blocked you, or I thought you blocked him. He texted me recently and let me know, if you ever betray me, you will regret it, she quoted. He has told me on many occasions before that if I crossed him, he would ruin my life, grape me, or off me. Okay, now this is really significant. She hasn't known the guy but since last summer. He's her best friend. They're in love. She wanted babies with him. And now she's been trying to leave for a long time. She blocked him on all social media, and then all of a sudden he texts her. And now she quotes him, if you ever betray me, you will regret it. Now, again, this is just her post. Whether or not he said that, we have no idea. He told me on many occasions before, many times she'd been warned. He had revealed himself to her many times before, and she stuck around. That if I crossed him, he would ruin my life, grape me, or off me. Yet she just kept hanging around. That's just the darndest thing to me. This is supposedly a screenshot. Maybe it is, maybe it didn't. I have no idea, but this is what's in her post. This is from Andrew. I really love hitting you. It's very good for me and you. It's relaxing, don't you think? Pookie, no, I cry. Coming out about this is really terrifying in all aspects. The entire situation is very traumatic and extremely difficult. I considered many times just silently leaving Andrew. Many times she considered that in 8 or 10 months. Many times. But she never did it, but many times she considered it. Getting threatened about being offed and graped. She considered it. Leaving Andrew and saying nothing, doing nothing because I was scared and because it was honestly hard for me to accept. I was being abused. I can now see that doing so would be the cowardly approach. Okay, he's been over in Romania. I don't know if she went over there. She doesn't say, but she even said at the beginning of this, we didn't see each other very often, but she was afraid to leave him. If he's on the other side of the planet, how in the world could she possibly be afraid? I don't get it. I know I can't be silent. I have to make my voice heard. Okay, no matter how difficult that road may be, I also know there are many women out there who are in the same position as me, terrified and scared, who are being hurt by the person who is supposedly in love with them the most. To those women, I say, you are much stronger than you know. Maybe, but you don't know that. I say, I know firsthand how hard it can be to even talk about it, but I urge you, find your voice. You're not alone. Walk away and take control of your life while you still can. I will not publicly go over any details of my relationship with Andrew Tate, other than I used to bang him all the time and he beat me up and threatened me, but I was in love with him. He's my best friend, and now I'm going to the police because I have accountability issues and I don't want to be held responsible for my actions. Except for now, young lady, you are branded for life. I know he and his followers will insult me and attack me. I don't care because I speak the truth. And maybe she is speaking the truth. I don't know. I will not comment any further on Andrew Tate beyond what my lawyer has set forth in detail by my lawsuit. Those facts speak for themselves. And of course, some more selfies. And I don't know. She just looks like she got out of the shower. I assume this is how he hurt her or struck her or whatever. So, anyways, I'm going to take Miss Bree off of here. And for the life of me, you know, it's not like that sound. I have no idea if Andrew Tate did that or not. Don't know. Don't really care. But that sounds like it wouldn't surprise me. Judging by the leaked videos that are all over Twitter of the old videos, except now the difference he did with that other girl from 2013 or whatever it was is she was 15. Now that is where I have a big problem because in my opinion, a 15-year-old girl is not capable of consenting. And that's where I draw the line big time. Hello, Wicca. Anyways, let's see. Sounds like she used Grok to write some of her posts. Maybe that or a lawyer. I don't know. Yeah, again, I have to keep repeating myself and saying this. I'm not saying that she deserved what happened or what she alleges that Andrew did. Or I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, I don't understand why so many men think this guy is just the shizzle. I don't get it. Masculinity does not need Andrew Tate. He's outside of the illegal stuff, the stuff that he's alleged to, the crimes he's alleged to have committed. He's a scumbag. And I'm not saying he, deserves being jailed for a scumbag, but he's a scumbag. But for the ladies' side, this guy is not quiet about who he is. There is no way in hell that she didn't have any idea how he was. I just find that extremely hard to believe. You'd have to have an IQ 2 or possibly 3 standard deviations to the left to not realize who he is. He is very, very open about who he is. And why women go for him, that is, I'm telling you ladies that wonder why men shit talk women so much and call y'all gold diggers. Not all, but a lot say that women are generally gold diggers. That's why. Because she obviously didn't know him very long. And there's no way she did not know who he is and what he was all about. I find that extremely hard to believe. So that just tells me one thing. She was in it for the money. Just how I see it. What's up, Mr. Mazin? Damn, you went from old to a little old. Where'd the beard go? I got tired of it. I don't like it. I've never been able to keep a beard more than about a month. That's about as long as I can go, and it starts itching and driving me nuts, and shit gets caught in it, and it just drives me bonkers. There's Wicca. Hi, Caleb. Sorry I'm late. I don't get notifications. I don't know why. Apparently nobody does. I've got 500,000 subscribers, and I think I got up to 25 or 30 people here. Nobody gets notifications, and maybe it's my fault. Maybe since I haven't been consistently going live, then I guess I don't know. Anyway, what do y'all think about old Andrew Tate and women falling for him and pretending like they're always victims and they're just shocked that when he's a total asshole to them? Tar Heel Hurricane Girl. This kind of mocking of domestic violence from you is terrible. Each day in America, 3 women are murdered by their husbands or boyfriends. I'm not mocking domestic violence. See, you're exactly why I keep repeating. And I don't know when you got here, but I've been on for 40 minutes. I know for a fact I've said it at least 3 times, maybe 4, and apparently I need to say it again. I'm not saying she deserved it. I'm never saying anyone deserves what he allegedly did. There's no proof that he did it. There's evidence, but her pictures, taking pictures of herself, that's just evidence. That's not proof. It's evidence. Anybody can make that. And I'm not saying he did or didn't, because I have no idea. I'm just saying this is what she's reporting to the police and to TMZ. And again, I'm literally saying in addition that he is a scumbag. He's got a reputation for openly talking about treating women like this. And why was any woman go to her? I'm not saying he was right to do it, but she's not completely in the clear. You are mocking them. Yes, I am. I'm mocking both of them. Both of their behavior is terrible. Where is this girl's father? I suspect she is fatherless, because everything that I've ever seen about Andrew Tate, all these women he gets involved with and pimps them all out, they all seem to be fatherless, all of them. And I've said this many times, Andrew Tate does not have the balls to come after someone like me and my 15-year-old, or another man like me who's 15. He doesn't have the balls to do it. I don't care how much money he's got. I don't care how much of a fighter he is. He always seems to go after fatherless girls and young women. Just how I see it. So yeah, I am mocking her. She made a terrible, awful, dumb decision by, I guess she fell in love with him. That's what she said, by falling in love with that guy when he's open. I don't know anybody who's more open about who they are. He tells you who he is almost every single day with this podcast. He's abrasive. He doesn't really seem to care or respect women like at all. And I wanted to talk because I mock and criticize women, terrible behavior from women all the time. That's what I mean. Coming from me, he's even disgusting by my standards. He's horrible. Big Young Furry. New viewers, please do not attempt to ask about Parker the kids. Yes, thank you, Big Young Furry. Yeah, my kids are all fine. So if he whacks her, it's her fault. Okay, did I say that? That's not what I said. But if you jump into the tiger cage on purpose and you corner the tiger and the tiger's hungry and it's at feeding time, what do you think's going to happen? Tigers are going to do what tigers do. That's just what happens. I'm not saying I'm glad someone gets eaten by a tiger. I'm not saying I'm glad someone gets eaten by a bear. But if you jump into the bear cage, if you jump into the tiger cage and they're hungry and you've threatened their little cub, what do you think's going to happen? I mean, duh. Why would you put yourself in that position, in the position for that to happen? I don't know. I don't get it. Like, you got me. I'm not defending either one of them. I think they're both morons. And I don't even think Andrew Tate is a moron. I think he's evil, but I don't think he's a moron. He's very intelligent. He's very capable. And to get mad at me for, quote, apparently complimenting him is just being dishonest. He is demonstrably a very intelligent man. But I just think he's an evil prick. Honestly, I think he's got either mommy issues or daddy issues. I'm not sure which. Okay, so you're saying if she gets whacked or any woman gets whacked by him, it's her fault. Did I say that? That's not what I said. That is not what I said at all. I'm sitting here openly criticizing anyone who associates with Andrew Tate. I'm criticizing his behavior. His behavior is atrocious. His political opinions I tend to agree with on a lot of things. Some of his opinions on the behavior of women I tend to agree with. But I've never in my life have I treated a woman the way he openly talks about treating women. Never in my life. It never crossed my mind. And if I ever meet someone like him in real life, there's no way in hell I would want to even be around them, be friends with them, much less make him my best friend. That is ridiculous. He's not in the minority, though, unfortunately. I don't know what you mean there. Look, people make their own choices if both faults if something happens, because you should try to get away from an abusive relationship to begin with. And I understand it can be hard. I mean, I left my ex 3 or 4 times before it stuck, but we had kids together. We had 4 children together. It wasn't exactly easy. And I understand, or I guess I can sympathize and try to see from a woman's point of view on certain situations why it'd be difficult to leave, but they have no children together. He just now got released to come to America. He's been in Romania in home jail, whatever you call it, for 3 years. She's American. She just said she's from Los Angeles. She said in the text they've been apart, separated. They've been in contact, on texting or whatever, but not physically together. It wasn't hard for her to leave this guy. I unless I'm missing something, I just don't see how it was hard for her to miss this guy, to leave this guy. You have a nice tattoo from Jeanette. Thank you. That was the last tattoo I ever got. That was in 2012, I think. I was a Paul bot. I was a Ron Paul man. Yeah, I do. I got one I need to get rid of. So, yeah, anyway, I don't see how anybody could hear what I've been talking over the last 47 minutes and say, yeah, well, Caleb, he just said she deserved it. Yeah, I know how he is. He just said that she deserved it if, and that's a big if, which hasn't happened. He's not even accused of whacking anybody. If he whacked somebody, she deserved. That's not what I said at all. I'm saying, I don't know how many more times I got to repeat myself. I just think it's ridiculous. And I think it's just as ridiculous that all these red pillars with these little tiny fingers just worship this guy because he's just a con artist. That's all he is. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself and maybe his brother. I do think he does seem to really like his brother, which is great. You should love your brother. I think when he talks about his brotherly companionship, I think that's a fine quality to have. I think it's a good thing to pass on to people. But 2 things can be true about the same person. He can have really good opinions on some things and be a shit human being that should be avoided by anyone that doesn't want to get mauled by the tiger. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll up here on some other comments that I may have missed. We just don't have a lot of people here. Like there's 13 people here on a channel with 500,000 subs, and I got 12 people here. I said I don't like Donald Trump because he is racist. I think that's BS. He's just, I don't see how. I mean, you'd have to give some more example or some, I mean, he knows everybody, like everybody. I remember Donald Trump. I'm 40. I'll be 48 here in a couple weeks. Donald Trump has been famous my entire life, and he's shooken hands and given money to and donated to and called all kinds of people his friends that are a different color than is he for my entire life. I just don't see how he's racist. I just think that's ridiculous. I've got plenty of criticisms of Donald Trump, but being a racist isn't one of them. He's a predator, plain and simple. I can only assume you're talking about Andrew Tate. Angel, I'm scrolling back. Let me get back down to the bottom. Okay, I'm hearing you mocking domestic violence. Every 9 seconds in America, a woman is beaten by their husband or boyfriend in America. Didn't you already say that? I literally read that out. No, I'm not mocking it. That's ridiculous. I'm openly telling women to avoid assholes like Andrew Tate. I'm openly telling men to not emulate assholes like Andrew Tate. How did you turn that into, oh, you're mocking domestic violence? No, I'm not. It's like, are you a bot? She obviously doesn't know how to Google her abuser. His girlfriend, I guess. That's what I mean. How could you not know who Andrew Tate is? If you meet him and you're interested in him, how in the world could anybody not just know the name? Like, he's literally the most, or maybe not now, at one point he was literally, according to him, the most Googled man on the planet. There's no way in hell that she didn't know who he was and what he's capable of and what his reputation was. There's just no way. No, I'm not a bot, dude. Cool. We kind of sound like one because you keep saying I'm mocking DV, and I'm not. I'm sitting here in North Carolina watching you on my computer. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just don't understand why you could keep you keep repeating the same thing. I read your statistic. I'm not completely ignorant to think that women don't get beat up by douchey men constantly. Never once in my life have I promoted it. Certainly not on this podcast have I promoted it. Ever. I've been a champion for decades of being a nonviolent parent, showing up for your children, teaching your kids, yes, to defend yourself, but never to use it to initiate force. I'm on record for decades with that. Smash the like. Well, yeah, I do. And I do need people to smash the like. Wiki, you weren't here yesterday. I frequently mock YouTubers that spend 5, 10, 20% of their entire broadcast asking people to hit the like button. I don't see I see why you have to do it, because if you don't get in the algorithm. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't see why YouTube forces every YouTuber, and there's thousands of them, making millions of videos a day, and out of all those billions of minutes that are broadcast every single day, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% of the time is spent begging for likes and subscribes. I don't get it. But yeah, I do need for y'all to do it. So because if you don't like and subscribe, no one will ever get here, obviously. And I know I'm just going to have to keep going live every day. And at the moment, with as sucky as the crypto market is right now, I have literally nothing else to do. I run every day. I've got my little bench right over here. I've ordered some weights that got lost in the mail with Amazon, and I've got to get back to getting my upper body. So yeah, I'm just going to have to keep going live every day, because doing the same running routine, running 2 to 6 miles. 2 days ago, I ran 8 miles. just because I'm old, but I'm jacked and I like being jacked. I mean, I need to lose about 10 more pounds, but I've still got it. Mazen's probably going to get in there and laugh at my ball, but for an old man, that ain't bad. No, I don't do that. I might ask once because I'm trying to push your life. I appreciate it, Wick. I really do. I was kind of being turdy. I notice things that bug me, and one of my favorite YouTubers, and Angel knows who he is Jason Pizzino, and he covers the broader market, but more specifically, usually the Bitcoin and crypto markets. And I love the man. He's brilliant, and I love his stuff, and I like how he doesn't get involved in emotion very much. But my God, that guy. Hit the like, guys. Hit the like. Smash the like. If you haven't already hit the like and subscribe. If you haven't already smashed the like. He says that at least 5 to 10 times in every single video. And maybe I shouldn't be so petty. At least you can still run, dude. I can't do that anymore. Well, why not? How old are you? I'm 48, or almost 48. Well, I don't know I don't know if you're new here, Hurricane Girl, but 4.5 years ago, I was an alcoholic. I had a big old belly, just, it was gross. I was like 221 pounds, and I had little bitty pencil arms, and I was pathetic. I was a loser. I was a pathetic loser. I could barely call myself a man. And I put the bottle down one day, cold turkey, and I've never looked back. And I felt great for a year, but I was still fat. And then on Blaine, my youngest son, who I got custody of in 2017, who was on this channel, he came to live with me. He'd already lived with me. It's a long story. I moved to Florida. He came to Florida. He got me into the gym, and for this past December was 3 years. I've been in either the gym every single day and or running. I've really taken up cross country running the last 6 or 8 months, and I couldn't run at all. I've got a bulged disc. I used to have chronic back pain, but I started walking a lot, and then I'd run a little, and then I'd gradually increase the amount of running I did, and now I run all the time, 2 to 8 miles a day. And there's a reason I'm in this recliner like this, because I am old. My back's not perfectly perfect, but I no longer have chronic back pain. And there, just 4.5 years ago, right before I quit drinking, I had chronic back pain. I couldn't run 20 feet. Hurt my gut. I mean, my gut would just jiggle when I'd run. It was so gross. And it hurt my back so bad. I mean, it hurt just to run. It would blow it out. I'd collapse. So that's my little story. Let's see. Mazen is hiding. You never answered me about your water. I saw you talking about something about the Nile. Was that from 3 years ago when we were talking about that? Nicholas Alvarez, what's your opinion on Jordan Peterson, if you know who he is? Oh, I know who he is. Jordan Peterson's another one of those guys that he says a lot of good stuff that I really, really, really like. But unfortunately, and it's really sad because I did like this guy, Jordan Peterson apparently sold his soul. And I wished I could go into more detail, but this is YouTube and I can't. He sold his soul to a certain entity, and it's really come to bite him in the ass. And then he's had some really strange, weird things where he's talking about having a dream about having sex with his grandmother or something, and he was like posting about it. Like, it's just weird, like strange. But again, for the most part, I really do agree with a whole lot of what Jordan Peterson says. However, he's he's older than me. He's like 60 something. And he's just got all kinds of apparently addictions, like terrible. He's on all kinds of drugs. I think I don't follow him that close, but it's kind of a shame. And I don't. Drugs are. They'll do. I would know. I was an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic anymore, and I'm not an alcoholic for a reason, because I would do drunk posting, and he's posted some really bizarre shit. Yes, I am new. Well, welcome to my channel. And I didn't mean to pick on you, Hurricane Girl. I genuinely do encourage people to criticize me, and I really do try to be objective. If you are new, I do see that I could come across as someone you can't trust, because let's face it, the world's full of effing liars, right? Well, yeah, of course. I'm as distrusting as anybody. And I mean, I see why people think I'm a liar, because most people have been lied to their entire life. Why would this internet guy, Caleb Everett, he exploited his children and all that crap? Why would I be any different? But I guess all I can do is live my best life and try to prove myself, which I've got video proof on here of me years ago being a big fat slob. And part of the way I prove that I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is not just showing off my big sexy arms for an old man, but there's no way you can be as in shape as I am if I was still an alcoholic. Because for like 2 years or a good year and a half, people on my channel, okay, he fell off the wagon again. You can just tell, look at him, he's falling off the wagon. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm 48 years old and I've got a 6-pack abs. That's not possible, especially at my age, or at my age. He still has videos. Look up when he had the sailboat Lily. Yes, Wickus, you just remember all my stuff. I sold that several years ago. Scatterbean 12. Hey, man, love your videos. Haven't watched you in a while. Well, hello. Or is it Scatterbean or Scotterbean? I'm having to squint. Thank you. Congratulations. It's hard to get away from addiction. It is, but I'm glad you brought that up. If you're new here, I frequently talk about my journey on quitting alcohol. And as much as I've apparently aggravated you a little bit on my views on Andrew Tate and his dumb girlfriend, I've got an interesting and different way of viewing alcoholism. And the only reason I speak with authority on it is because I used to be an alcoholic. And that's the part that tends to bug people. I didn't use AA, and I don't necessarily shit on AA. I just don't agree with everything. And I'll never go to a meeting and declare, oh, I'm an alcoholic, when I most certainly am not. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I just don't buy into once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. So if you are an alcoholic, or someone's alcoholic, and they want to get a different perspective on how hard it is. And yes, you're right. The actual quitting is hard. But once you get past the first week, oh man, with my method, it's like I teach people to turn the switch off. When you get it up here in your mind that all alcohol is poisonous to all humans all the time. It's literally, it'll flick a switch. And if you want to live and you don't like being sick and you've made up your mind, I don't want the poison, it makes it incredibly easy to quit and stay quit. I'm never tempted. I can walk into a bar. I can walk into a 7-Eleven. I can walk into a restaurant. I can be around a group of people that are all laughing and girls with their titties hanging out and all that. I no more tempted or interested in drink alcohol than a man in the moon. We were proud of. Well, thank you, Wicca. You're proud of me. Oh, okay, you're talking about, yes, Kayla, from the water. Yeah, you've been there a long time. You aren't that old. Well, depends on who you ask. When a woman's mad at me, she'll call me old man. tell the angry one when a woman gets an angry woman that I'm not that old. AA is definitely not for everyone. Yeah, and it's funny how some people say that and it's just fine, but if I say it, oh, I'm an arrogant prick. I tried NA, made me want to use again. It's not for everyone. Oh, really? Well, I've never been having a narcotics addiction, so I've certainly never been to an NA meeting. But I've heard that they're similar. They're kind of one's a spinoff, but I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not an AA or NA expert. I've been for 5 years or more. Oh, sober? Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that. You're right ahead of me. You're just ahead of me. I'll be 5 years in August. Nicholas Alvarez, getting away from alcohol was the best decision I've ever made in my life. Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. I don't tolerate, I call it weakness. And I don't say that to everybody, but men, but by our nature, we bust each other's balls. And I'm not, when I say that to men, I'm not trying to be mean. It's kind of like, I don't always like drill sergeants, but it's kind of like a drill sergeant. I'm encouraging you, get rid of that weakness. And, but yeah, congratulations, man. How long are you sober? Oh, crud. I'm over my hour. We're an hour and 6 minutes, 32 seconds. I'm trying to keep this at an hour because I know in the old days I used to go 2, 3, and 4 hours. And once I hit an hour and a half, 2 hours, I've already got a scratchy voice and it really starts getting me pretty good. I need a drink of water and I'm going to say au revoir. All right, kiddies, I enjoyed it. I will catch y'all tomorrow. If y'all got any suggestions on topics or anything like that, put it. As soon as I'm done here, this will be live on my channel. Put it in the comments if you've got suggestions or if you want to come on here and talk to me, particularly Miss, where'd she go? Miss Hurricane Girl, if you'd like to get on and criticize me, I encourage that as well because I'm not afraid to take criticism. It doesn't bother me, and I won't yell at you, I promise. I'll be polite. Let's see, Scott or Bean, I got drunk for the first time last month. It was pretty scary. It wasn't enough to make me want to stay away from alcohol. Oh, it was enough. Well, good. I've never been one that says that there's no upside to alcohol because there most definitely is. That's why people do it. Because for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours, oh man, it's a blast. It's if you take it too far and you start, get alcohol poisoning and the hangover and the cost, that's where it gets bad. NCAA tournament. I guess I missed something. I hope you're okay. Yes, I do too. My last drink was July 1st of last year. Well done. Well done. Well done. Just keep it that way. And next, Nicholas, I don't know if you're into physical fitness or not. I waited a full year thinking I would just lose the weight. But apparently if you're in your 40s, it doesn't work that way. You got to we have to work at it really hard. But I encourage all men not only get sober, but get in the effing gym. The world is going to shit. The world is riddled with assholes like Andrew Tate and people with even less control than him that are just itching to attack you. And contrary to popular belief in some circles, I am not a misogynist. And there are women out there that need real masculine men that don't beat women up to actually be there to protect them. And if you're a man and you're into the red pill stuff, but you've got pencil arms and your bicep is the size of my wrist and your gut is out to here, you're not doing anyone any good. You can't even protect yourself. How the hell are you going to protect a woman or a young girl or a child? and I'm not yelling at anybody in particular. I just get real passionate. I encourage people because to get in shape, because again, I used to be that fat boy. I used to be that pathetic drunk. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to admit, but unlike a lot of women, I own my mistakes. Oh shit, I know. Actually, never mind talking about the NCAA tournament. If Duke fans get on here, I will never hear the end of it. Well, here's a little caveat for you. I cannot stand sports ball. To each their own. The closest I get to enjoying sports is maybe boxing or kickboxing, or maybe a little bit of the cage stuff that Dana White does, because it's one man versus one man. But I've just never done that team sports where you got to be sports ball, and it's just not my thing. I'm younger, so I lost around 20 pounds when I quit. So I'm just skinny now. I definitely do need to start gaining muscle weight, like you said. Yes, do it. Do it, Nicholas. Nicholas Alvarez. I'm telling you, man, up your protein. Eat about 500 to or so calories above what you're burning in the gym every day. Make sure 80% of that is meat or egg protein. The other thing is what I call vitamins, like onions, avocados. You don't need starches and veggies and all that junk. Onions, avocados, garlic, fresh garlic. I peel my own, salt, pepper, cheeses. And just you'll be amazed. You saw yourself lose that 20 pounds, and you feel a little better, or probably a hell of a lot better. Wait till you can only gain about 3 to 5. If you're young, maybe 5, maybe 6 pounds of muscle in a year. Muscle's really, really hard to build. And the older you get, the harder it is to build it and maintain it. But once you get it, man, it'll change your world, man. Nicholas, I promise you. You stay in the gym. I'm going to say, you said you're younger, so let's just say you're in your 20s, maybe early 30s. You stick to it for a whole year, and eating right, eating clean. Don't eat any shit out of a box or a bag or a package or frozen anything. Eat fresh. I literally only eat 15 ingredients a day. And you stick to it for a year. It took me 2 years, but stick to it for a year. You'll get a chest, you'll get legs, you'll get arms. And I promise you, when you walk around town, everyone looks at you different. Everybody. The guys that typically would want to be a bully, they just tend to stay away. Because who do bullies usually like to pick on? The weak and the dumb. Don't be the weak and the dumb. Be the intelligent and the go-getter and the guy who takes care of himself first, because you can't take care of anybody else if you don't first take care of yourself. Groovy McCrot just joined the stream, so I don't know if you addressed it, but it's wild to me. People basically worship Tate, but totally ignore the massive red flags. Yes. Groovy McCrot, you are going to just love when I'm gonna have to get off here because I'm way over my voice. I can feel my voice cracking, but it'll be live here in just a few minutes. It takes it 5, 10, 20 minutes from the time I shut it off to the time it goes back up. You will absolutely love this because that's exactly what he's a total douche. She's a dummy too. Groovy McCrots. Oh, okay. Their profile. I can't see the profile pic. I don't even know I can't see it from here. It's the same for women as far as is it the same for women as far as the protein? I would imagine so. Women are, obviously generally a little bit smaller. They probably don't burn as many calories. You find out, basically the goal is you find out how many calories you burn in a day, And if you want to maintain the weight you're at, you eat those same amount of calories. If you want to gain, you eat about, I don't know, 300 to 500 calories more a day. If you want to lose weight, you eat, 10, 20, 30% less in a day. But always keep the protein up. This whole now this is just, I have to say this for YouTube reasons, but this is just my opinion. But this whole fat from animal protein is bad, and animal proteins, that is bullshit. That is our food, like it or not. I don't buy into the vegan stuff. I actually tried being a vegan about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I almost killed myself. Damn it. There goes. I'm going to get zapped. Sorry, YouTube. Didn't mean that. I wasn't trying to say anything bad. Wasn't trying to recommend anything. Oh, that's the part about YouTube. It drives me nuts. Never liked Tate. I saw right through his BS instantly, even though I was in a bad headspace at the time. Well, I didn't see through it because all I saw was the nice stuff. Like Candace Owens, she interviewed him. And I like Candace Owens. I generally agree with just about everything Candace Owens does and talks about. But that's one of those weird things. I'm not going to be just blindly supporting anyone on no matter what they do, because as much as I really do like Candace Owens, she and I are a lot alike on our political ideology and religion. I'm not Catholic, but I am a Christian. Her going out on a limb to support Andrew Tate and now Harvey Weinstein, I don't know. Maybe some people are saying he was jailed. Maybe he deserved to be in jail for other crimes, but not the crimes that he's actually in prison for. I'm like, that dude, even if he is in prison for a crime he didn't commit, there's a list a mile long of women who have accused that guy of being a scumbag. Yeah, bad, Caleb. I need to lose weight. Well, like I said, up the protein. Always up the protein. Protein, in my opinion, YouTube, protein and fats from cheeses and eggs is nature's medicine. It's our nature's way of greasing the joints. I don't have any inflammation. I don't eat vegetables and rice and potatoes. I love potatoes. I love rice. I just don't eat it. But we need food, and food, in my opinion, is meats and cheeses. And in my opinion, about 80% of all your calories needs to come from meat, eggs, and cheese. Everything else, in my opinion, is vitamins. Sauerkraut. You can't go wrong with kimchi, sauerkraut, and kimchi. You can't go wrong with fermented foods. It just flushes the old gut out. Not to sound gross, but talks amongst yourselves. The Doodle Shower, LOL, don't worry. Unless someone repeats, you should be fine for that. Oh, for saying the bad word? Okay, yeah, thanks. I really don't want to get the last 2 lives of course, they didn't get very many views anyways. It's not like, but I don't want to get my channel whacked. Groove McCraw, politics makes for strange bedfellows. Yep. And when you get to know these politicians and these celebrities, that's what I was meant to say earlier, and I got sidetracked. You get to know them personally. It's not good because you support them, but you see them on TV, and then you get to know them in real life and in real life situations, and they kind of want your endorsement. You're like, I saw what you did to that woman. I was there. I can't support you, but you're my friend, and you and I both know that nobody else knows, and I know that I can't publicly say anything because no one would believe me, and you'd get mad at me, and I would lose your endorsement. It gets really, really awkward. So I say don't ever meet your heroes. Be cautious with all politicians because they're all full of crap. All behind the scenes. Candace Owens was talking about that very same. I don't watch her every day, but I happened to catch her today. She's backed away a lot from politics and politicians because she got to know them. Of course, she knows like the A-listers. I don't know any A-listers. I've known a few B and C listers over in the past, but she knows the A-listers, and it's the same thing. When you get to know them in real life, you find out what they're really like behind closed doors, and a lot of them are alcoholics. They're wife-beaten rapists. They treat women. They're basically Andrew Tate, except the only difference between them and Andrew Tate's, believe it or not, you got to give the guy credit for it. He's honest about it. He tells you he's an asshole. He tells you point blank he likes to beat women and control women, and they're just his property. He's open about it. So you got to give him, at least he's honest. What about pasta? Nope. Pasta's plumb full of corn and oil, and I'll eat popcorn. I've got popcorn right here, but no, pasta it's not terrible. It's just really, really high calories. I don't eat grains. I don't eat breads. I love bread. Garlic bread. Oh my God. I love bread, but I never eat it. I never eat cereal because it's grains. And grains are just really, really super, super high in calories that I might have misspoke earlier. They're high in calories, but it has almost no protein. We are protein beings. We have to have protein. Even the vegans will tell you that's why they eat all those cashews and all those, what are those little different kinds of beans? I forgot the name of it. Anyway, we have to have the protein. The protein is what builds the muscle. That's what lubes the joints. That's what makes the inflammation. I have no inflammation at 48. And like I said, I don't even have chronic back pain anymore. I've lived in chronic back pain for like 15 years. Nicholas Gonzalez, how much protein should I normally have? A general rule of thumb is about, let's see, it's been a while since I thought about this. Between half and 1 gram of animal protein per pound of desired body weight. So just for real simple numbers, we'll just round up. Let's just say 1 gram of protein per pound of, let's say you want to be 100 pounds. You're a woman and you're 150 pounds now and you want to get down to 100. And I'm just using this for round numbers. She'd want to eat 1 gram of protein. She'd want to eat 100 grams a day. And that's on the high side. A lot of people say half a gram. So in her case, she'd eat 50 grams of protein. If you're a 300 pound man, but you want to get down to 200, I would suggest use the 1 gram per pound of desired body weight. So he would need 200, and it's, well, for a 300 pound man, he could easily eat, to get a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 gram per pound per 1 pound. It can be done if you want to really, really, but you need to be doing lots and lots of exercise, like in the gym, doing what I do. What I do is called PPL, or that's how I rotate: push, pull, legs. Day 1, I do push muscles. Day 2, I do pull muscles, and day 3, I do leg muscles. Repeat. And some people like to take a day off. I never like taking a day off. I don't see the point unless have something you just have to go do, but just to sit at home and pull your pud and bitch about Caleb Everett, talking about women and Andrew Tate. I don't see the point, because when you rotate the 3 day, after the 3rd day, you start on the 4th day, which is PPL. You're on your 4th day. You've fully recovered and you just keep going. But that's just me. Y'all, I really need to get off. I got to pee, and I am losing my voice. But I will be back here tomorrow. Again, thanks for the people who showed up, and people, even Hurricane Girl, who criticized me. I encourage people to criticize me because, in my opinion, that's how I get better. If I can't defend my own position, I'm no good. So I hope to see everyone here back tomorrow. If this will be live here in just a bit. If you've got a topic you want to talk about, or an article, if y'all send me some articles, my Instagram is on there. You can DM me articles if you think, hey, what do you think about this? I thought, or whatever. So I will see y'all. As for now, since I've got this house for now, daily at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will see y'all. So y'all take care. Take care. Bye. Thanks.